الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. In the last few nights, in two parts, we covered Surah al-Kahf. And Surah al-Kahf has so many benefits, so many fawaid. But I wanted to touch on the main aspect that the name of the surah comes from. And this is something very relevant to us today. It is about a group of pious, young, dedicated youth who perform hijrah to protect their religion. Subhanallah, many of us have heard the story, we've read it, maybe in even books of tafsir, there is many ahadith, it's in the Quran, but did you ever think about it? Tadabburan. Today, if there's a war in a country and people perform hijrah to leave it, we understand. And I understand and I feel for those people. Trust me, living in a very peaceful society is very easy for us. But those of you and those of us and those people that have lived under war, it's a very difficult thing and we understand. Or places where there's famine. There's no food, there's no water. People make hijrah, we understand. But making hijrah for the sake of your religion has become a unheard of concept to us today. And if somebody says, I'm going to leave this nice cushy job and this nice comfortable lifestyle and I'm going to go to a desert to study with the sheikh, everybody will think he's crazy. You lost it. But this is the hijrah for the sake of your religion. And that's what the people of Kahf did. They were people who were comfortable in society, wealth-wise. We don't know of them to have any problems or socio-economic problems or anything, but they left to preserve their religion. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected them such that even their dog, as we know from the Quran and kutub of hadith, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserved him. And when they woke, how many were there exactly and how long were they asleep for, we don't know. And that's an important lesson as well. Because some of our ulama and some of our tullab ilm fight and argue and get caught up on things that are irrelevant to the religion itself. Tayyib, understand? Like ilm al-mantiq or ilm al-kalam, falsafa. These things sound cool, but does it affect your aqidah? Does it affect your salah, your fiqh, your siyam? No, leave it. But what affects you to know the sifat of Allah, tawheed uluhiyya, rububiyyah, asma wa sifat, knowing your aqidah about the nar and jannah and about malaika, knowing it properly in the light of the Quran and sunnah, knowing how to make salah correctly, not just the way you saw people, these are important. And that's a lesson we need to take from our history as well. When Baghdad was being attacked by the Tatar, they said some of the ulama, they were fighting each other about the color of the dog of Ashab al-Kahf, whether it was yellow or black. And their students had sticks and they were beating each other, and the Tatar were raping and killing and massacring the Muslims. And that's what we see today. The ummah is in need, it's being destroyed not just with attacks, but being ignorant, and people that are in bars and people that are spending Ramadan partying, and we are looking at, oh, did he make harakah once or twice? Do you even know the ahadith about how to perform harakah? No, you don't. You just read some online website and now you want to argue. Don't do this. Take a lesson from the Quran. And those people of Ashab al-Kahf, they made a physical hijrah. Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyah, he talks about this. There is a book that they've collected his works on tafsir into 3-volume book, and he talks about this. He says that there is different types of hijrah. Sometimes it's physical, like in a land where you cannot practice your religion. As many of our brothers and sisters from Myanmar that went for Hajj and stayed to protect their religion. Many of our brothers that lived in Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan under the Soviet times, they made hijrah, they moved to other countries. Many of our brothers from Albania and other places, the reason Sheikh Albani was in Syria, why? Because they made hijrah. So these people, they made hijrah physically. But Ibn al-Qayyim says sometimes the hijrah is that of the qalb, even within a society. Yani, what does that mean? And in a society that we live in, alhamdulillah, we're here making salah, nobody's killing us, nobody's arresting us, our women wear hijab and niqab and gloves, alhamdulillah. Other than those that are scared from the makhluk, if you're not, alhamdulillah, you have no fear from anybody. Right? We're able to come together, no problem. But there is the bi'a fasida, the corrupt environment. So we need to make hijrah, maybe not necessarily by leaving, but by coming together in masajid. Coming together with our hearts and our minds and ourselves, and making a good environment ourselves to protect ourselves from al-bi'a al-fasida, bi'a kafira, from the environment of kufr and fisq. And this is the hijrah that all of us can make. Not just in Ramadan. Wallahi, it's so beautiful to see all of you in Ramadan, but I don't want Shawwal to be a month that I don't see these beautiful faces and these wonderful brothers and sisters coming to the masjid for durus and halaqat. The masjid is open all year round. Just FYI. So, make that hijrah. Like the people of Surah al-Kahf, if you cannot do it physically, with the hearts, with the minds, with ourselves, in the society, come make a night. Okay, Saturday night is a halaqah night, it's a Quran dars night, it's a hadith dars night, it's an environment night. I'm going to dedicate it for the masjid. And that's when you come and you sit with the people of Iman, and you sit with the believers, and you increase each other's Iman by talking about the good